silencio, por favor.
Hola, soy Madonna.
Santa Madonna.
Estoy caliente. Puta.
El primer podcast de Madonna.
Buenas noches, Latinoamérica.
En español.
¡Estoy lista! Muchos besos. ¡Mua!
Hello, everybody.
Hello. We're bilingual.
Our intro says it's a Spanish podcast, but this is a special episodes we're making in English for everyone who understands English, or at least who can read Spanish because we have subtitles.
Yes. If you're listening to us on Spotify, you can turn the image on because we have subtitles. We're being subtitled for a special occasion because we're making this anthology of Madonna rarities. And we started last time with the early 80s. And now we are visiting the late 80s. And we're enjoying the company and assistance of the great
The one and only.
Welcome from Milano, Italia. Thank you for being with us once again. Giulio Mazzoleni, author of the Madonna Songbook. Welcome.
Hey everybody, ciao. Hola.
Ciao Giulio.
Ciao, Giulio.
Siete pronti?
Siamo pronti.
No,
Siamo
siete
caldi.
pronti is for a lot of people. Siete pronto?
Sei pronto?
Sei pronto?
Sono pronto.
No parlo italiano.
No.
Okay. Thank you once again for being with us. And okay, we have talked about the first three albums in Madonna's career. We talked about Madonna. We talked about Like a Virgin and how it didn't have any
Outtakes.
Thank you, and True Blue and its leftovers, and now we're entering the Like a Prayer era, which is an album that solidified Madonna as an artist, the black hair Madonna, and an album that came to be during the personal, it's a very personal album that came with Madonna in a personal crisis of
Her divorce with Sean Penn.
her separation with her husband, and it's a very heavy album. It's, if you think about it, it's not an album that comes easy. It's not really radio friendly aside from the first three singles, which are Like a Prayer, Express Yourself, and Cherish. I don't know if you agree with me, but the other tracks are really deep cuts. Yeah. They're not.
There are some dark songs, and they're
Yes.
not
a lot of
commercial.
introspection, and there's a lot of mystery, and there's a lot of drama.
Yep.
Which is why a lot of songs that she wrote, she didn't put in the album because they didn't fit to this theme.
Exactly, and that is what you were talking on the last time we met, Giulio. That even Stephen Bray said to you that she was really interested in making the album work about a narrative, and so a lot of songs she left out because it didn't fit the subject of what she was trying to tell. And probably it's the case with Like a Prayer, which came to be during 1988, which is a year in which Madonna is not really present. You know, she only did Speed the Plow.
And after the huge success of True Blue and Who's That Girl tour, being absent for 1.5 years is a lot of time for something very, very famous.
Yes.
Well, at the time, it was very important not to have overexposure with the media. A concept that we don't have nowadays.
You need exposure.
Not to saturate the market. And at Christmas 1987, she had the Who's That Girl soundtrack, the True Blue album,
You Can
and
Dance.
the You Can Dance EP selling all together. Sometimes she would have 2 singles in the chart. It was really saturated. And then in March, she put out Ciao Italia, and then she really needed to cut, which essentially is the same thing she did after Like a Virgin, after the Virgin tour, before True Blue. She calmed things down, but it was a shorter time. With Speed the Plow, she didn't have the time to finish a record earlier for Christmas 1988. So we waited 3 more months.
Yep. And she released it by March 1989. And, well, some songs that were left in the way, not necessarily related to the project, but they are rarities from the era. For example, in 1988, she participated in a song I really like, the song Sherazade, written and produced by Pat Leonard and Peter Cetera from the former Chicago band. His album, One More Story. Madonna only sings beautifully, I might add, one word, which is the title of the track. And she's credited in the album's liner notes as Lulu Smith, the fake name she used at that time to check in at hotels. Rumor has it that Cetera didn't want to take advantage of Madonna's fame, but then he regretted it, as one does. I really like this track, and it's really 80s-ish. And here we hear Madonna sing Sherazade. I mean,
I love it.
yes, it's just
very good, and you can hear Pat Leonard's production. It sounds very Pat Leonard. Yeah, that scene.
Totally.
Yeah.
yeah, and it's just one word, and but I'm in love with the harmonies in
Yes,
this
it's
word.
very good. Yeah.
They
I have to, I wanted to check because I was thinking exactly the same thing as Agustin, how the sound is so Patrick Leonard from
Yeah.
all the other songs that we know. And because my memory is now fucked up after writing such a big book, I needed to check my own book, and I went to see it.
That's why you wrote it.
I can confirm that he did the drum programming and the keyboards. And there's Denaf, who plays guitars also on True Blue. And then, and in the album, there are music played by Jonathan Moffett, John Robinson, Paulino da Costa, Bruce Guy, David Williams, James Hara, Denaf, Guy Pratt, Saida Garrett, Nicky Harris, all people that have worked with
All
Madonna,
familiar
either for
names.
True Blue or Like a Prayer. So it's the same world.
Yeah, it's the same war group.
It's the same house. Another unreleased track, but which is well known to those who are familiar with Madonna's filmography, is I Surrender Dear. It's a song she performs in a duet with the actress Jennifer Grey, which is the actress of Dirty Dancing.
Yeah.
Yes, in the movie Bloodhounds of Broadway, released in 1989, Madonna plays Hortense Hathaway, a showgirl in the late 1920s. I Surrender Dear is a song made popular by Bing Crosby. And we hear it.
Little mean things we were doing must have been part of the game. Lending a spice to the wooing, but I don't care who's to blame. When stars appear and shadows fall, why then you'll hear
Okay.
I love this song. I love this music from the period. I think it's foretelling of Dick Tracy, of what she did later.
Totally.
I'm always listening to it. I'm looking for, on my phone, the version that I really like. There's even a version by Aretha Franklin, which is pretty
Oh,
nice.
really?
Yeah. Elvis Costello did a good one. They're all in my playlist. I really like it. It's a special,
Okay.
quite a special song.
Yeah, I like it. And she probably never recorded it, in studio, but it sounds really good. I mean, not Jennifer Grey, who I don't remember if I read it in your book, but it's intended to sound off
key.
Yeah.
I was intended,
Yeah.
It's part
or
of
is
the
an
character.
excuse because she was totally off.
No, it's part of the character.
Okay.
You
I
see
haven't
the
seen. I haven't seen the movie.
She goes to sing. It's not a great movie. It was very unlucky because the director fell with AIDS and couldn't finish it. So there was a lot of probably cutting and
It was
changing
chopped.
things.
Yes.
But she's dragged, like she has to go on stage and perform with Madonna, but she's distracted by something else. And so
Okay.
Madonna is the performer and Jennifer Grey is next to her, which kind of ruined.
And actually, Jennifer Grey, she mentioned in an interview
Yeah, I remember that.
that she kind of inspired Express Yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was with Massimo Dean.
It's what Madonna told her, because you have the context is that Madonna at the end of '87, right around New Year's Eve, which is when the movie is set, around the same days she shot her movie. Then she went to Los Angeles to finish Ciao Italia and to start writing the book, the album with Pat Leonard. In January, February, she had already written 7 songs with him and with Stephen Bray. When she returned to New York, she played for her Express Yourself in her car, and she was breaking up with, who was he? With her lover, famous actor, I forgot. And so she said, Madonna said, this song is for you. It's for standing up and believing in yourself and not being a victim of the man you are with. And so she said it's dedicated to you.
In that moment, it was for her. Only in that moment, it was.
Or maybe she said it to encourage her. She said, "I wrote it for you."
Well, it reminds me of an ex-boyfriend I have that when we got out of the Sticky and Sweet shows in 2008. We were together, and he was. We were on the VIP, and he was on general admission, and we got together in the street. And the first thing he said was, "She said my name."
Marcelo?
No, Javier.
Okay.
He said, "She said my name." And I was like,
When?
"Okay,
Why?
sure, she did." But yeah, so she said Jennifer's name. So entering the Like Pray project, we come across the story. We shouldn't name names, but anyway, they don't listen. We come across the story of Angels with Dirty Faces. Back in 2019, Pat Leonard leaked this demo to the web himself because of a former art dealer who had worked with Madonna and was intending to make profit from it. He posted it on YouTube saying, "This demo and others from Like Prayer are being auctioned. Here it is for free." Not cool at all. Someone would sell it. The music belongs to the writers. Regarding the song, he later commented in an interview with Encyclopedia Madonica's writer Matthew Rettenman, "This one doesn't quite work. If you heard it, there's all of these good things about it, and it sounds great, and she sounds great singing it, and it seems like a must. But there's that weird intangible thing where there's something missing." And here's where you know that Pat Lerner has a gut and instinct, because I feel the same about it. It really has something that's not working. in this song. I don't know if you agree with me.
Well, it's not up to the standards of the other ones, but
I think it's not finished.
Let's hear it.
It gets a little boring in the moment as well. I think the chorus is very good. I like the chorus.
I don't feel a soul in it. I don't know.
it's crazy to think that in one session Madonna made like 7 songs almost perfect that she didn't have to change almost. Like Promise to Try, she changed it a bit, but Cherish remained the same, Like a Prayer remained the same. Till Death Do Us Part and Pray for Spanish Eyes. And along with them, she also did this one. It's like, okay, if you did 7 songs and 6 of them are this good, it's fine. If you did
You're
one, that
allowed.
was-
Totally.
But it's
Yes.
it's beautiful, like it's a continuation of White Heat about being, about the stories of the gangsters, of good people with evil people. It's very inspired at the same time. If in a following session she had decided to finish the song, maybe they would have improved it enough to be released. But
Yeah,
again, it's not part of the theme of Prayer.
Yeah, that happens probably with a lot of unfinished songs. You know, what's missing is work. You know.
Yeah, Stephen Bray said it about Can't Stop. He said, if we had taken one more day finishing the verse, it would have been much better.
I love Can't Stop.
Or sometimes maybe she just said, this is as far as we can go with it. Let's finish it as it is. You know, it depends.
Yes, I still not convinced. But then again, when in 1992 Donna Dolores signed a contract to release her debut album, she asked Madonna for a song to sing. As Donna herself told Giulio in an interview for the Madonna Songbook, Madonna knew I was wanting to be a solo artist, and she was supportive. She had been trying to think of one of her songs that I could do, and this one was perfect. Which one we're talking about?
Just a dream.
Yes. It was really nice of her to give it to me. She could have given it to anyone, you know, but she wanted to help me. Once again, as we mentioned earlier,
She doesn't produce for the artist. She just give away one of her songs.
yep, exactly.
And what a song!
And what a song.
What a song! Oh, I fell in love with it the first time I heard it. It's a shame that we don't have the Madonna version of it.
Yes.
But still,
Somebody has it.
so what? Who?
Not me. Not me, but a guy on Instagram contacted me and go like, will you trade rare stuff? I will give it to them. I said,
why
I
don't-
don't have rare stuff. I have a book about rare stuff, but I don't have rare stuff to give to you. So he has the track.
But still, I think Donna's version is a great song, and I love that it's a Donna Dolores song, actually.
She made it hers, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
She told me that when she got the tape, she said, Madonna called and said, contact Pat Leonard, he will give you a song. So she received the tape and she played it. She was staying in a camper, in a trailer with friends, and she was jumping on the bed with happiness, playing it loud. The moment she heard it, she fell in love with it like you at the first listen.
You just fell in love with it in the first listen. It's a perfect song. It has great harmonies and the chorus and the lyrics. It's a great
Nice
song.
lyrics, nice story,
Yeah.
beautiful,
Yes.
great,
Yeah.
beautiful hooks.
And Donna re-released it a few years ago,
Her
but with a different recording. And I didn't like that much. I prefer the original, Just a Dream.
Yeah, I think it was in the rhythm. It's what Stephen Bray said to me. It's the magic of Madonna. She can make great melodies with great rhythms.
Mm-hmm.
If you take one or the two out, it's not complete.
Hmm.
And Madonna has this talent with upbeat songs that have a magical melodic touch.
That's a great
And also,
definition.
I love the lower register. When Madonna sings in a
Yes.
lower key,
Yes.
it's my favorite.
Yeah, let's not forget that Madonna participates as a backing.
That's what I was about to say.
Okay.
She even let her use her own voice, which is she didn't re-record it, but it's the demo voice as the backing vocals in the final version of the song. This song probably was left out of Like a Prayer because of the rockier vibes, and again the theme. I might speculate, and then go ahead.
No, who knows?
Yeah.
We really don't know. It would fit in the
It would
theme
fit,
because it's
yeah.
about a breakup, but maybe it was repetitive. But the interesting thing is that, unlike, I don't know, Angels with Dirty Faces that was abandoned at demo stage, this one was produced.
So
And
Yeah,
then
it was
left
produced.
out.
Yeah.
you think there's like a final version of it?
Yeah, there is, because Donna explained to me that she received permission to use the original stems
Okay.
from Madonna, some of them, and Patrick Leonard just finished production.
Oh.
But they had to pay, her label had to pay Madonna's label the money to use the original stems from her production, the voice. It wasn't a demo, it was a finished production.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
so
interesting.
even
Oh,
better.
yeah.
Yes.
Which is interesting if this version of Madonna finally leaks. I know a little bit clips here and there have been made it on the web, and some people are saying they're not authentic, but they do sound real. And Madonna also has slightly different lyrics in some points.
Okay.
So the song came out as a single from the Donna Dolore debut album, and the final Donna Dolore version sounds like this. I tried to
Yeah, there was something.
yeah, I tricked the sound. Yeah, sorry. I tricked the sound, so I upped the. No, it was me. It's not the operator's fault. I upped the sound in the end of the track because I think it's where Madonna's backing vocals sound clearer in the back. So when you
Yes,
hear
it's true.
the fade away, it's Madonna. It's so Madonna. Fade away.
It's absolutely true, yeah.
In the fade.
And I think this is a sister song to Supernatural because it has the same musicians. John Robinson
Okay.
on drums.
Oh,
You hear the same sound. It's like
yes, of the the original Supernatural, the B side.
yeah, Dana on guitars. I think it's the same session Madonna made. for
Okay.
Both
Supernatural.
tracks, which leads me to this track. Let's talk about Supernatural, written and produced by Madonna and Pat Leonard as well, and it's the story of her romance with the ghost. I like the subject. It ended up as a B-side of the single Cherish. And in Patrick Leonard's words, it's almost a novelty piece. It's a real kind of weird funk tune with a very strange groove. Let's hear it.
I love the drums on this song.
He's a great drummer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who's in the drums here?
John Robinson.
It's John Robinson. It's the same one from the Like a Prayer sessions, right?
You
Yes,
uploaded
it's Like a
a video of him playing the drums of Like a Prayer, right?
That's Jonathan Moffat.
Oh, right.
That's
Okay.
Moffat.
Okay.
I like Supernatural. It's
Yeah.
a weird track, and it's a super duper natural. It's outrageously large. I like its
Yeah, I
puns.
love the innuendo. You have a
Yeah.
good laugh about it. Very.
I don't know what she's
ironic.
talking about.
What, you know, what do you mean you don't know?
He does.
I don't know. I don't get it.
Then, like I mentioned in the well, I can see why it didn't make it to the album.
Yeah.
It had nothing to
Yeah,
do
I
with
don't
it.
think so. Oh, by the way, John Robinson also played drums on Cherish.
Okay.
Yes.
Did I say it right? I need to check
yes.
on Madonna Songbook, the great songbook about Madonna song.
You can go to Antigua di Sani.
Hope I haven't made a mistake, but I think you did. Yeah, it was Jeff Porcaro. Sorry, John Robinson played "Express Yourself."
Okay.
Yeah, and I need to look something up.
It's interesting. I like this book. It's really nice.
It's yeah.
You should
Yeah,
get
a lot
one.
of information. Yeah, John Robinson did "Express Yourself." Thank you.
I need to check something because I think someone bear with me. Well,
What do you need
what
to check?
happened? In the meantime, I will say that when I told you about the first time that I heard some of the B-sides of Madonna in a cassette that someone from England, a pen pal from England, had sent me when I was little, when I was 16, 15. The first version of Supernatural that I heard was not this one, because the song was remixed and revisited in 1992 compilation called Red Hot Plus Dance, revamped by Sly and Robbie, and with additional vocals, as I learned from your book, by Gwen Guthrie, who had sung backup vocals in her first album. This song was turned into a house anthem, and that's my favorite version of the song. Sly and Robbie would go on to remix Madonna once again in 2008 with Give It To Me.
Yeah, true.
And here's the remix. Let's hear it.
I prefer the original.
Well, here's what I found when we did our episode on 80's remixes. The first Cherish remix was commissioned to the DJs Hank Shockley and Phil Castellano. Madonna apparently didn't like the result, and they had to improvise an extended remix quickly, which is the version that comes out in the maxi single, which has some editing mistakes and sounds like a rush. They did it in a rush. That's why maybe it's the only single of the album that comes with an unreleased as a B-side, which is Supernatural, which is the only track that was not mixed as the rest of the album by Bill Bottrell, but by the sound engineer of Pink Floyd, James Guthrie, which
I
also,
didn't know this one. Thank you so much. I need to write it down.
who also did the extended version of Cherish, which
No, that's Chris Lord Alge.
the sound engineer,
Ah, okay.
the sound engineer who was the sound engineer of James Cuth of Cherish's extended version, which suggests they both were finished in the same session. The mix is done from scratch by Guthrie, so some of the instruments are more prominent than the others in the Cherish remix. They're different in the mix than the album version. That's one thing I wanted to mention.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm making note as we speak, because you never know that maybe one day I will make a second edition of my book. So every time I find something, I take notes. Maybe I will use them. You never know.
Go ahead, sure.
Also, if people read my book and find mistakes or something missing or have more information, please let me know, because I really care. I mean, I'm always curious to find out. The one thing I would say, though, I wouldn't say that the remix is rushed. It's done by Chris Lord Alge, which is one of the best sound engineers and remixers.
No, yes.
Used to be. He also did La Isla Bonita. I don't think there were mistakes. It's just that my opinion was that the song wasn't possible to be remixed in a dance version because it was very pop and sweet. And so it remained as an extended version, just like they did with La Isla Bonita, by diluting the elements in a longer version instead of changing the sound.
Okay.
I don't know. Open Your Heart was changed into very aggressive bass and additional elements. Was That Girl was changed. La Isla Bonita was only, made longer, and so was Cherish. But it's very interesting about this rejected remix that I will look up, and probably the reason why they went like, okay, we don't have enough versions. Let's add one more song, and maybe Pat Leonard and Madonna said, okay, we have this song, but it's not mixed. And so
and that's why they share the same sound engineer, which is different from the rest of the album.
I will make notes.
And so Madonna works again for Like a Prayer with Stephen Bray. They make at least 4 songs together. Express Yourself and Keep It Together are on the album. The other 2 have not leaked yet. One of them is Love Attack, which Bray say didn't fit the mood of the record. She was very much into a confessional attitude. She writes in stream of a mood, really. This album, she needed to do it. I'm sure it was a cathartic kind of thing to do. For True Blue, she was very much in love. It was obvious. If she's in love, she'll write love songs. If she's not in love, she definitely won't be writing love songs. That's why the love songs we recorded aren't on the album. She didn't feel that they were real enough for her at the time. And you talked with Nicky Harris, Giulio. And
both Stephen Bray and Nicky Harris go like, oh yes, Love Attack. And I said, how does it go? I don't remember. None of them remember. But the one thing is that Nicky was about to do a pop album as well after Blond Ambition, and she asked Madonna a song, and Stephen Bray recorded it with her, but eventually it wasn't used. But both of them can't remember. Stephen Bray has a very good memory, but he kept getting confused with another song that he did called Rap Attack. So he was like, I'm sorry, I can't recall what it's about. And Nicky was like, yes, Love Attack. I don't know what it was.
Okay, but we know that Nicky did a version of Love Attack.
Yes, it was supposed to be for a record, just like Donna got Just a Dream.
Okay, but we want to hear Madonna's version, of course.
Always.
The other abandoned break track from the Like a Prayer sessions is First There's a Kiss, a track that Madonna wrote about her friends who were dying during the AIDS crisis. In an interview with the website Madonna Tribe, Stephen Bray revealed it's a finished track, and it's fabulous. It's a really catchy tune, full of fantastic harmonies, which we all love in Madonna. I want to take a moment on complimenting Madonna for her harmonies, which are always amazing. In 2022, with the MLVC podcast, Bray said, it really reflects where we were as writers and our love for the Carpenters and Karen Carpenter's harmonies. A really pretty song with an insane hook and dance tempo. It's probably the best unreleased song of ours.
I need it. Stephens, if you're hearing this, please send it.
And you talked to Stephen about it. What did he have to say to you?
He has essentially confirmed what he said to the MLDC podcast, and we talked a lot about the Carpenters. He confirmed to me that Madonna and Stephen Bray both grew up listening to them and admiring Karen Carpenter's voice and the way she made great melodies and the way her brother arranged all those harmonies. And it was a reference for them many times, for her many times. Angel, Shooby-Doo, this used to be my playground, I'll remember, Take a Bow,
Rain.
even Ghost Town, Rain. Rain is the most symbolic of all.
I think Rain is the most Carpenter song of all. Yeah.
Something to remember. There are songs in my
Still,
book,
yeah.
and I draw a parallel because I didn't know the Carpenters myself. Only They Long to Be Close to You by Burt Bacharach was famous in Italy. They were very famous in America, England, Germany, Holland, but not here. I don't know, in Argentina.
They're famous here, yeah. They were famous, very famous.
I didn't know their music, but Madonna is a big fan. Actually, while on the set of Evita, she was singing.
I don't remember what song.
Close to You.
Close to You, but also the other one.
Superstar.
That You Be Coming Home Now? Superstar,
Yeah.
yes. And I discovered them while I was writing the book. I said, well, let me listen to them. And I was like, wait, there's a bit of Shooby-Doo here. There's a bit of, there's a lot of Take a Bow. I mean, there's a song by Carpenters called This Masquerade. This Masquerade is over. And Babyface and Madonna sing like Karen Carpenter and Richard Carpenter.
See.
It's incredible. Many songs. And Stephen Bray said how they admired them. And so they became sometimes an explicit reference. Sometimes it was just unconscious that things would come out this beautifully melodic.
Yes, and also he mentions that it's a dance track. So I'm really curious about, this is probably one of the ones that I'm most curious about. So he also says, this is, but I know that we didn't think we achieved what we could with this alone. I know she was too busy to find the time to make this great. I think she probably wasn't happy with the verses, but the bridge is to die for. The Stephen Bray bridges. Come on.
Imagine.
Bring it on.
Maybe Lola will sing it soon.
And we don't know.
I don't know. Well, there's a long time rumor. I went to address which is there's a supposed demo called "Goodbye, My Forever Friend."
Wow.
I know you hate the rumors, which is a really lo-fi a cappella track which leaked to the web many years ago. There was a rumor before that, which is the story goes, it was a stolen tape from. It was stolen from a tape recorder from Madonna's dressing room in Speed the Plow in 1988.
Can you imagine? These fabrications. I mean, what I like about this podcast, what I like about my book, doing my book, is that we find sources and document things. We just don't say, oh, and then Madonna went into the woods and was picking up strawberries and started singing. And by the way, somebody was there with the tape recorder, and here's the song.
Yeah. Evidence. So, I didn't even separated the file to listen to, because it sounds hideous and you can't even tell if it's Madonna. It's pre-AI, and I don't think it is.
Next.
Yeah.
Yes.
Next.
And actually, by Alien Means is a song Prince gave to Madonna while they were working on Love Song. And the track was about teenage suicides, but Madonna turned it down and he never released it. It's registered in October 1988. What came out of the Madonna and Prince collaboration, we know, is Love Song. And now that I know that you're a Prince fan as well, Giulio, how do you like Love Song?
I like it. At the time when it came out, to me, it was like the best of my two favorite artists.
Of course.
I realized later on with time that it wasn't necessarily the best of a Prince song or the best of a Madonna song. When Prince has produced other artists or written for other artists, it was much better because he just did the work. I think they had an issue of two big minds having to collide and collaborate, two big egos, there was an input from one and an input from the other. It wasn't Madonna singing a Prince song, which maybe would have been fantastic, but they were trying to get together. And as she said, it didn't work out. But then he went to visit her and said, listen, there is something good in what we've done. And they tried to finish it by distance. So it was a great experiment. I know she definitely wanted it to be a single, but he refused to do it. So it's not, in looking back in time with all the things they have done, he and her,
it's not the best work,
but it's the best they could have come with together, because he wasn't used to collaborating. You don't collaborate with Prince.
At the end, for me, Love Song sounds more like a Prince song than a Madonna song. I think Prince has more how do you say it?
Importance and relevance.
Yes, in that song, it sounds more like a Prince song for me. I love it. I think it's a great song, and I love Prince too.
There are two things I want to say. First, they intended it to be a single, or at least Madonna, because Mondini has talked about that he was approached to make a video for it
in black and white.
And he wanted it to be inspired by the movie Hiroshima Mon Amour, and which ended it
in the idea for Justify My Love.
The idea for Justify My Love. And one other thing, in case you don't know, or the listeners don't know, we have an episode of Madonna and Prince with our Prince expert, Glam Slam, to who we
send him a kiss.
And he contacted me because our Prince expert made me notice something I hadn't realized on the Madonna and Prince collaborations. In one of the interviews from the Like a Prayer promo in 1989, I think it's the Molly Meldrum interview, Madonna is asked about the work she's done with Prince on Love Song, and she mentions that Prince had put together a tape with rough demos of things they did together in the meetings they had.
We've gotten together a couple of times, you know, in the hopes of working with each other in some way. Either originally we were going to do a musical together, and we were going to write the music for it, and that didn't really pan out. You know what I mean? We just kept getting together, and he seemed to fight the idea of just writing songs for a record together, because he's done that with so many people. He came to see me in the play I did last summer in New York, and he just, for the hell of it, put together a tape of some rough things that we had done in all of our meetings that we had had. And Love Song was one of the songs, and I just said, you know, this is crazy. It's such a great song. Why not put it on the record? And it seemed to relate to all the other songs because it's about a relationship that's, you know, a hate-love relationship. And so he agreed to it, and we kind of sent the tapes back and forth to each other, and we keep building it. It was like he would write a sentence, and I would add on to it, and then send it back to him, and he would continue the story, you know, basically. It was fun, because in this song, really, it is only my musical influence and his. Like, I didn't have Pat or Steve's help. I played the keyboards myself, and because I don't know that much, it kind of came out strange and interesting.
One of the songs. So there are many.
And there was, in the background, the music was Love Song. An instrumental version. Where is that?
It's leaked.
It leaked?
Yeah.
Ah, I want it.
Yeah, 15 years ago. Wake up.
You've been served.
Okay. Now Santa Madonna with Giulio and Parrilla. Bye.
Bye.
It's leaked. Yeah, I think all of the Like a Prayer songs are leaked in instrumental, except for Like a Prayer.
Said like a prayer.
Yeah. But so there's more than one.
Well, the great thing about Prince is that everything he did, he recorded and put in his vault.
Yes.
Everything he said, it's not lost. Everything is there.
Except
Yeah.
one thing, I don't remember which one. Glam Slam told us that after the recording of that song, he went to the
Oh, and he deleted it.
he deleted the recording.
Yeah, I don't
remember which song was it. It was a cover of
Oh, wow.
yeah, but I don't remember. Well,
Yeah,
I don't know.
well, we'll ask him. Thank you, Glam Slam, for bringing this to the table. And that was the Like a Prayer era, and it brings us to the next era, which is the amalgamation of Breathless and Immaculate Collection, which is the big 1990 for Madonna, which is, I think, the peak of her Imperial era.
Yeah, it was like, boom. She was everything, everywhere, all the time.
The most famous woman in the world.
Exactly. And
Absolutely.
you said you went to see her in the Blond Ambition tour in Rome, right? How amazing.
A couple of days ago, somebody at the radio said, if you could go back in time in your life in one day, what would you want to relive? And I thought to myself, Blond Ambition in Rome. I want to see it again.
How was the day? How did you
It
you
was
get
a
to the
very hard
stadium?
day because I traveled by myself at 17 from the south of Italy, where I was on holiday with my family.
Oh.
My parents gave me permission just because I was going to stay with another friend of mine who's still a friend of mine. We had dinner together last week. He had me at his house. His parents were guaranteeing for me and everything. And they drove us to the stadium the next morning at like 8 in the morning to be in the front row. And so we stood under the sun in Italy, in Rome, in July. It was really hard. We heard her do the sound check.
Oh my.
We were going crazy, but everyone was, shut up, we wanted to listen. It was like, and then they opened the gate and the run, the typical fan experience.
Yes.
But for me, everything was new. It was my first concert in my life.
Oh my God.
And I was in the second row, but the pushing and crushing made my friend, the girlfriend of my friend, go away with her purse, and I was with my sunglasses, so I needed to have my side glasses, and I had to leave and go back.
No.
Yes.
Oh my
So I
God.
want to leave that day again and be in the front row
Be
with
in the
contact
front.
lenses.
That's amazing. I so wish I was in the Blond Ambition. Plus, no spoilers, probably.
Yeah,
Back
you didn't know the set list, right? But there wasn't no
I didn't.
internet.
But there was a lot of coverage. It was heavily promoted. I remember Liz Rosenberg was doing a lot to promote that tour. She gave the Vogue rehearsals to MTV. She gave the Express Yourself rehearsal to the European music channels. And there were always specials on TV where they would broadcast the blind date on MTV from Houston. And other music channels were broadcasting stuff from Dallas. The only thing I didn't want to know the set list, but somebody said it loud when we were outside, and everybody was like, "There's no La Isla Bonita, there's no La Isla Bonita." And then I didn't know that she would have curls. I was expecting the ponytail.
The ponytail.
She showed up and was like,
who is Sheila Temple?
Which do you prefer now, ponytail or curls?
"Curls."
Yes,
Of course.
yes.
It's the
I
one
know
you saw.
them all. I'm obsessed with curls. I can tell you a Blond Ambition picture. I can tell you which city it is.
Yeah. The most easy to recognize is the Barcelona one because she was
Yeah,
Messi,
puffy
yeah.
hair. Yes. Yes. We were recalling the other day, it was the Rome concert was like 2 or 3 days after the final of the World Cup.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
with
Which is
Argentina.
why she didn't sell many tickets, because in Italy, a lot of people had spent a lot of money
Oh,
on
the
the
World Cup.
football matches.
Yes.
And that summer, we had Prince, Rolling Stone, and Madonna. 3 of them had problems selling tickets.
Ah.
Prince left the country and refused to perform for a small crowd. And for 20 years, he couldn't come to Italy because he lost the lawsuit with his promoter. He refused to pay the penalty. And so if he had come to Italy, he would have gone to jail. We didn't have a Prince concert in Italy for 20 years until somebody paid the fine for him, or he paid the fine, or something like that. So Madonna performed. She had issues with selling tickets with Blond Ambition because of that, and because of the scandal.
Yeah, the publicity with the Pope.
The Osservatore Romano.
Per favore.
Silenzio, per favore. Yes.
It was very hard.
Wasn't there 2 shows scheduled in Rome, and one of them was canceled?
They canceled the second show in Rome, yes.
But anyway, this show was to promote I'm Breathless, which is the album of music inspired and from the movie Dick Tracy, which is one of my favorites because it's such an unusual album. And well, for you, it's a soundtrack or an album?
He already answered that.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
You told me it was an album.
Yes,
It's
sorry,
totally-
you have to leave the podcast. It's me, Augustine, now.
Well, the process of creation also after I'm Breathless comes the Immaculate Collection, which is, I think, the way to finish the 80's for Madonna.
What a way.
What a way. In July 1989, MTV News reported that Madonna had approached George Michael for working on the I'm Breathless album and maybe some other projects. This was later confirmed by Liz Rosenberg. It never came to happen.
What a pity. I would have loved to hear something with them.
Exactly. Dick Tracy is a song registered by Patrick Leonard. Nothing else is known about this track. Its title suggests it might be an outtake for I'm Breathless.
Or maybe it's just that he wrote Dick Tracy on the tape and sent it, and he met the music. When I asked Brian Malouf, who mixed and recorded the whole album, he said there was no outtakes. It was that they came to the studio with the songs they wanted to do.
Very good.
Okay, so you say maybe this track title was just a name put on
A
the
reference.
cassette. Yeah.
Sometimes it's a reference, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It's the Dick Tracy song. He probably started like that. Maybe.
Maybe he's a man could have.
Or maybe it's just
named
it is a song
Dick
that they
Tracy.
worked on and they didn't bring to the studio to Brian
Claro.
Malouf. We'll never know.
Yep. In 1991, Madonna and Michael Jackson were supposed to collaborate in a track together.
Yeah.
He presented her with an early demo of the song In the Closet for his Dangerous record. She suggested a lot of sexual innuendo for the video and to get him in drag. And she mentions that might have scared him off.
Might.
Might.
Yeah, what about?
I don't
Can you
know.
imagine?
I think it would have been terrific, but I couldn't see
Scary.
Michael. No, well, yeah.
Michael dragged Scary.
The song ended up featuring Princess Stephanie of Monaco in backing vocals, credited as Mystery Girl, which led to a lot of people thinking that maybe it was Madonna.
Yeah. But she had already given so many interviews saying it didn't work that nobody had a doubt.
Now, Get Over.
Yes.
Yes, one of my favorite outtakes was the last collaboration Madonna and Stephen Bray did to date.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. And it's rumored to be an outtake from the Immaculate Collection. Ray, talked to you with Giulio for the Madonna Songbook about this outtake, and he said they demoed it in his studio, right?
Yes,
In
his home. Like
his home.
every song that they demoed was always a home session. whether it was at her apartment in the beginning or then at his apartment. She always liked to work from home and something very simple and minimal. And it wasn't, he couldn't remember the timing, but he said it was the last time. This was the only song that took form. We experimented a few bits, but nothing became a song. And it was a time when he was already struggling with a lot of work. He was so much in demand. He was doing a lot of productions. And also being with Madonna didn't just mean working one song. She would ask him, to oversee the way they were arranging his songs in the tour. In the Blond Ambition, he flew to Japan. There was a lot of monitoring the remixes and checking this and that. And he was burnt and he needed time off. And he said, I needed to step back. And I knew that by making that decision, the phone would stop ringing. And he meant the Madonna would stop calling if he wasn't around. And this happened with Chef Pettibone as well. It happened with other producers that keep saying, oh, Madonna should work again with. They think that she left them behind. But most of the times they were them not being willing to stay up to the hard work and all the process and just needing time on the side.
It must be exhausting, yes.
So that was the last one also because he knew that the sound was changing. There was a time when the Breakfast Club people would make fun of Stephen Bray because a lot of songs on the radio were produced by him, so they called it the Bradio. Because he was working a lot, he was everywhere, and he recognized that pop music was changing, that R&B and urban music were coming up. So he was like, I said, let me try if we can make rhythms like that. And Get Over is what it came about. But he told me it was written without a specific intention.
Oh, so it was not intended for Immaculate Collection, supposedly.
He couldn't remember that.
No.
He just said that she asked, let's get together for a session. She didn't say if she had in mind to put together songs for Immaculate Collection or not.
Mm-hmm. Well, he said as well that there's a whole version of Madonna singing the song, which ended up being for Nick Scotti, the singer. He says that it deserves being released. I would love to hear the Madonna version. It was the only real song on our last session. There was probably other stuff, but it just didn't really get developed enough, like I said. Madonna ended up giving this song to the Italian-American model Nick Scotti. She sang the backing vocals, and it sounds almost as powerful as a duet. Madonna and Nick Scotti met at Herb Ritt's birthday via Shep Pettibone. I love this information which I got from your book. Shep's mother was Nick's singing teacher. That led to Madonna mentioning his musical career. The song was produced by Madonna and Shep in the 1991 soundtrack for the movie Nothing But Trouble. The guitars were provided by Paul Pesco, a longtime Madonna collaborator, and in the soundtrack of Nothing But Trouble, the song sounded like this.
It's a song like something like from Paula Abdul. It sounds very...
Yes. Again, this is not the first version I heard, which is probably not the most popular because it's not the album version of Nick Scotti, which came out in 1993. And for that issue, Madonna agreed to updating the song to a fresher version with arrangements by Andres Levin and CNA. And this is the version that I like. great song.
Yes.
How do you like it,
Very
Giulio?
funny.
It's really good song. I remember being madly in love with it. I remember bringing it to university when our English teacher said, if you have songs you want to share with the classroom, we can analyze and learn grammar with songs. I brought this because it had all the phrasal verbs. Get up, get over, get under, get into. And she was like, very good, Giulio. Now I will explain everything.
Very clever. That's an advice for all English teachers.
I learned English with Madonna songs.
Same.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yes, I had very poor English from my elementary school, and then I got me a book with the lyrics of Madonna in English and Spanish, and I learned by her songs, and then that's how it goes. Get up, get over, get under. You baby hit me like thunder, and
I learned English by translating all the erotic album.
thank you, Madonna.
Yeah, I always had the dictionary and the cassette
me too.
booklet. Always.
That's how it goes. So that's a wrap for our anthology of rarities of the 80s and, well, a little bit of the 90s. And thank you so much, Giulio. Remember this and many, many other stories on conception, composition, and producing of over 700 Madonna songs can be found.
500, please.
Oh, 700 pages.
I would die for 700.
Well, you have 200 more songs to write now, okay? Okay, sorry, my mistake. It was over 700 pages, right?
Pages, yeah.
Okay, 700 pages, 500 songs. They're featured in Giulio's book, Madonna Songbook, which you can get in Antigua Ediciones web, right? Mm-hmm. And you can get together if you want a discount all over the world in shipping. You can ask for more than one, and you will get a discount price and shipping. Easy. Otherwise, you can get it in Amazon or I don't know.
In Spain, all over Spain. Europe.
Exactly.
Japan, Canada.
Everywhere. And thank you.
Except South America, I'm so sorry.
No, I know.
Brazil didn't work. The USA ran out of copies and they stopped selling it. So.
But I think ABE Books, they have a couple copies.
ABE Books, maybe.
Books, yeah.
They come and go. But the only place where it's guaranteed until it's finished is the link on my Instagram page.
Mm-hmm.
So go and follow him.
Yeah, follow him in
Madonna Songbook at the Madonna Songbook.
Yeah, and
thank you.
And not only for the book, also Giulio always shares a lot of stories and answers questions, and there's always great material there. You should go and follow him.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. It's great because I like interacting with so many fans. Like you guys, I'm in Milan, you're in Buenos Aires. It's so beautiful to be connected all over the world and speak to people in Australia and Indonesia and Poland. Madonna's music makes the people come together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
We expect you here in Buenos Aires soon, Giulio. Come over.
You know it's in my wish list. I swear I will let you know.
We're going to do the Madonna Evita tour. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And we can do a podcast together.
Yes.
Sì, ovvio. Okay.
I'd love to.
Yes, we will.
Thank you again. Grazie, tante, mille grazie.
Grazie.
Grazie a voi. It's always so much fun.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And until next time. And here we are at Twitter, Instagram, we're at Santamadonnapodcast.
And X or Twitter.
In English.
You can find us as STA Madonna.
Mm-hmm. You can email us at santamadonnapodcast@gmail.com.
And if you like what you see and hear and want to collaborate with us, you can do it via Patreon or PayPal or whatever you want and can. You can see the links after this video or in our web
bio,
social media.
See, I don't know. We say it in Spanish all the time, but finally, thanks to our
And
operator.
champagne.
Sorry,
Bottles of champagne.
Yes,
sí,
send
claro.
bottles of champagne, please.
champagne
Rosé.
rosé. Thanks again to Giulio for
Thank
joining
you
us.
very much.
And finally, thanks to our operator, Male from Monk. Thank you, Emma González Miranda, for our graphics and moral support. And Santa Madonna, somos en las voces.
Agustín Aguirre.
Diego Alejandro Parrilla y nuestro productor, Nico Capeluto.
Bye bye.
Ciao.